Capitol building earlier this month. The FBI is warning of possible armed marches in the lead-up to the event. Both Joe Biden and his Vice President-elect Kamala Harris say they'll get straight to work on running the country this week.
We're going into Wednesday knowing that we're ready to do the work. And we've got a lot of work to do. It's not going to be easy. As we have discussed, Joe has outlined our plan for vaccinations, our plan for recovery, and in particular relief for working people, for families. And there is a lot to do. Some would say that ours is an ambitious goal, but we do believe with hard work and with the cooperation and collaboration of the members of the United States Congress that we can get it done.
In Russia, a judge has ordered opposition leader Alexei Navalny to be jailed for 30 days. A crowd of Navalny supporters gathered outside the court as the opposition leader was led by police to a van heading to prison. The leading Kremlin critic returned to Russia from Germany, where he was recovering from nerve agent poisoning that he blames on President Vladimir Putin's government. His arrest had sparked criticism from US and European officials, heightening tensions between Russia and the West.
In a certain way, it's Putin who's now on the back foot. Navalny may be locked up right now, but Putin is in an impossible situation because the entire world is condemning what he's done. You can't take a major politician, try to poison him with chemical weapons, and then arrest him when he comes home. It's not an acceptable position.
Right, let's catch up with sports. Here's Jer.
Thanks, Siobhan. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang scored twice as Arsenal beat Newcastle 3-0 to move up to 10th place in the Premier League. Aubameyang gave Arsenal the lead 5 minutes after half-time. Arsenal doubled their lead when Emile Smith-Rowe set up Bukayo Saka. Aubameyang made it 3-0. Arsenal are within 7 points of the top four. Newcastle are now without a win in 9 matches.
But we're having a difficult moment at the moment. That little bit of confidence, it ebbs away at you. And, you know, we're on a difficult run, of course, and the only way through it is to keep working away and hope that results change and bring that little bit of confidence back.
Well, I think the first half, obviously, it takes a while to break a structure like this. We have some big chances that we didn't score, and this is what we needed. But we were in total control of the games. I don't think that they had any shots on target in that moment. It was about keeping that structure right, keep it simple, keep attacking the box as much as we could. We corrected a few things that, in my opinion, we could do a little bit better, and then we produced the moments of the goals.
Chelsea boss Frank Lampard says tonight's opponents Leicester City are Premier League title contenders. Chelsea are currently 7th in the table. They play a Leicester side who will go top with the win, and Lampard thinks they are one of a number of teams in the title race.
Yeah, I mean, they're in it for sure. The way they're playing, the results they get in their position in the league, it's clear. It's the same as last season. You know, we managed to get above Leicester at the back end of the season. We have to not consider too much the race as it stands at the minute and consider ourselves, can we get a result against Leicester, who are a competitor up there, and then see can we get wins together that will propel us back up to where we want to be. But the race is relatively open.
Celtic manager Neil Lennon has angrily hit back at criticism of the club's recent trip to Dubai, describing it as a barrage of absolute hypocrisy. Lennon and 13 players missed 2 games after a positive COVID-19 test, and now a further player has returned a positive test. Club chief executive Peter Lawwell called the trip a mistake.
The whole squad's negative, bar 2 players. I think that's remarkable. And I think it totally blows out of the water the way the trip, the way the training camp has been portrayed by certain quarters of the media, by certain pundits, and by certain government officials as well. We did not abuse any privilege. We had a little drink in the afternoon on a day off, completely allowed, no law breaking. Yet no, we come back to this barrage of absolute hypocrisy.
Tadhg Furlong looks set to miss the opening rounds of the 2021 Guinness Six Nations. Furlong won't play in this Saturday's rescheduled Pro 14 game with Munster as he tries to recover from a calf injury. He hasn't played since February last year. Gary Ringrose and James Lowe are rated 50-50 to return for this weekend's game. Here's the Leinster assistant coach Robin McBride on Furlong.
You know, in the next couple of weeks, definitely. And you know, he's training. I mean, he's taking a full part in units, so he's only got a few boxes to tick again, really. So it'll you know, it'll end a very frustrating time for Tig, who's kept himself going remarkably well, really, during this period. And, you know, with the Six Nations around the corner, I'm sure he's itching to get back then and check his hat in the ring as well.
There will be no special treatment for Australian Open players. That's according to the Victoria State Premier Daniel Andrews. It follows a request from Novak Djokovic that the 72 players isolating in hotels in Melbourne be allowed moved to private homes with tennis courts. The players are currently isolating for 14 days after they were deemed close contacts of 4 virus cases that were detected on charter flights to Australia. It's led to some players practicing in their rooms ahead of the tournament.
There's been a bit of chatter from a number of players about the rules. Well, the rules apply to them as they apply to everybody else, and they were all briefed on that before they came, and that was a condition on which they came. So there's no special treatment here. People are being treated because a virus doesn't treat you specially, so neither do we. People are free to provide lists of demands, but the answer is no. And that was very clearly laid out beforehand.
Time now for another look. The weather with Derek.
QuoteDevil.ie can save you money on your home insurance, van insurance, car insurance or life insurance.
The Quote Devil's always got one hell of a quote.
Well, sure, with the exception of Central Munster and Eastern Leinster, it's a proper washout out there this morning. In fact, the northern half of the country bearing the brunt of all that rain at the moment. And we still have that status yellow rainfall warning remaining in place now for all of Connacht through Cavan, Monaghan into Louth, Longford, through Meath and County Westmeath this Tuesday morning. So some very heavy rain leading to an ongoing risk of spot, surface and river flooding. So if you do have to head out and about and make an essential journey, do bear that in mind. The roads are very tricky out there this morning. Now we do have a moderate to fresh southerly wind with us. We'll pick up strong across the day and values in and around 3 to 11. Now as we work our way through your Tuesday, plenty of rain crisscrossing the country. So in fact, none of us really escaping that rain out there today. It will be slightly tapered back, slightly on the more intermittent side through the southwest, but plenty of rain with us now as we work our way through the 19th of the month. Top valleys of about 7 to 11. Finally then tonight, it looks like more rain unfortunately, so it just keeps on coming for the moment. Willie's back in across the northwest into those early morning hours, but we are expecting another wet start then into Wednesday morning. Overnight lows there on average at about 2 to about 10, but falling back to about -2 to +2 across northern parts. So that's your weather for now. We'll have your final update coming to you live here at 9:30.
For first-time drivers, young drivers, returning drivers, if you've had an open claim or have had too many penalty points.
The Quote Devil's always got one hell of a quote.
Thank you, Derek, the bearer of more bad news and more rain coming. Now, coming up, though, we chat to Sean Moynihan from Alone as he gives us advice on staying motivated during these hard times. And Alan will be checking in with Catherine. You don't want to miss it.
Did you know odours get trapped in your home's fabrics and are released back over time? Febreze Fabric Refresher eliminates odours for an all-over freshness you'll love.
Gina De Campo, Fred Siriex and I are on a culinary adventure across Europe. We'll be showcasing the best our cherished homelands have to offer.
Scotland beats Italy, France, hands down.
Gina! Gordon, Gino and Fred's Road Trip, tonight at 9 on Virgin Media 1.
At Tesco, we know how important saving is to you. That's why we've created value with you in mind. We've brought together everyday favourites, and to make shopping great value even easier, we've put a red bubble beside each and every one. For great value this dinner time, shop the red bubble ingredients for spaghetti bolognese and serve a family of 4 for less than €5. Tesco. Every little helps.
Look who's back to tell you about Quote Devil's incredible insurance deals. Yes, you're on live TV. Home and contents insurance is now reduced to only €199, including accidental damage. Whoops. And you can get a quote in just 60 seconds. Car insurance starts at only €325. And we're specialists in young driver car insurance, cover for those with convictions or previous claims. 40% of people who call to better their car, van or home insurance renewal become our customers. So
call the Quote Devil for one hell of a quote.
Thank you very much.
Here, and here. So we need to be clever. There is no room for error. Clear communication. Okay, we are under attack.
you to send me everything, like all the minutes and any comments that there are. And Tom...
Mom, no screens at the table.
Guys, sorry, we're gonna have to talk in the morning.
Connect to what matters for less. Save up to 20% by switching to the 3 family plan. 3. Make it count.
At Energia, we power Ireland's maternity hospitals. So we're the power behind that epic new dad feeling. We also power thousands of classrooms across the country, which means we're the power behind this lesson in physics. Make that chemistry. We even power all of Ireland's streetlights. So you could say we're the power behind your willpower. And closer to home, we're the power behind, yep, even dragons. Well, more like powerful imaginations. Energia, the power behind your power.
From moving out of the spare room to a place with space to spare. From first flat to first family home. From farmhouse to deep house. From a place you both call home to your working from home home. A new home is one of life's biggest moments, and we all know life doesn't always go to plan. That's why, at Bank of Ireland, our personalised mortgages can change if your life changes. When you're ready to make a move, we're ready to make it with you. Bank of Ireland. Begin.
Falsies Lash Lift Mascara by Maybelline New York. The look of a salon lash lift without the salon cost or time. Long, lifted, high-impact volume. Swipe on a lash lift look. For all-day wear, try Tattoo Liner Gel Pencil, only from Maybelline New York.
When it comes to truly awesome entertainment, we're not playing around. Simply switch to Virgin Media and you can pick up superfast broadband and TV 360 for just €55 a month for an incredible 12 months and €92 a month after that. The sale that keeps on giving. Now on. Bring on amazing. See virginmedia.ie.
Ultra, it works miracles. Flash. Ultra cleans up the impossible.
Last week we checked in with a few familiar faces to see how they were holding up during this difficult time, and we were inundated with messages of support and encouragement from viewers that are also in the same situation.
Yeah, and join us now this morning to give us advice on what you at home can do and also to help your neighbours is the CEO from Alone, Sean Moynihan. Good morning, Sean. An incredible, reading the statistics, a remarkable 300% increase in just the last 12 months you're seeing in Alone. I mean, how have you found, particularly the last couple of weeks, last couple of months?
Look, you know, there's an awful lot of people out there who need support at this time, and some people who had always been so independent now need support. So I think that's what we're here for. We've always been focused on helping people to age at home, and ultimately is you know, there's been also some great work by the police, on post, local authorities. It's been a real team effort in the community to support those who need us at this time.
And Sean, what are the type of calls about generally? Is it just people anxious about being alone? Are they anxious about catching COVID? Is it worries about the vaccine? Typically, what are the calls about that you receive?
I think for all us, you know, the calls have been always varied. Some people about how to deal with health issues at the moment, housing, transport, but then as different levels come in, advice about how those levels affect individuals, how they make decisions in those scenarios, anxiety about how to deal with things as they constantly change. And now we're into advice about how do I get vaccines, how do I feel about vaccines, and also, you know, hopefully as we changed into the new year, maybe that brings some hope on the horizon.
And what sort of tips and advice are you giving out most commonly?
I think for us is, you know, in some cases, as you say, it's information and advice, and it's short-term issues. And our advice to a lot of people is it's very simple. It's about staying connected. You know, we may be socially distant, but we don't want anybody so socially isolated. So people should really stay connected with people. And if they need help, it's there. We're here 7 days a week. They can ring us or to reach out to people in the community. Be active. Create a plan for the day. Get up, get dressed, get moving. because unfortunately, physical exercise, even if you feel you have to withdraw for medical reasons, is really important to maintain your health and your way of being. Take notice, I think all of us have been, much more conscious of nature and the things around us and what's important to us. And I think we need to take notice of those things and be grateful for them. And we all see so many people have taken up new hobbies, or are back reading, or back learning, or back doing things that stimulate your mind and your body to keep your mental health good. And for us, the biggest thing we see, especially seems we have a network of 2,500-3,000 volunteers across the country, is giving to others, supporting others, acts of kindness actually helps you more than it even helps the person you help or support.
Absolutely. It's so difficult, though, for people like we had Catherine on last week, and it's just that low level of anxiety or worry where it feels like you just don't even want to get out of the bed every morning, Sean. How do you get yourself out of that? Is it just implementing those tips that you give? How do you give yourself that boost day in, day out?
I think it's been really conscious of it. I think you have to find and you have to name that that's what's going on. We have a long history of working with people who are obviously isolated or lonely, and really that's a life thing that happens to people. Maybe in the natural form of things, maybe retirement, bereavement, poor health. Bit by bit, people can become cut off and they don't realise it happens. So I think being brave enough to name that maybe I'm struggling at the moment, maybe things aren't the way I want them to be. And the first thing is to name it and then follow the steps around the well-being, and then really, really take control and feel empowered to mind both your physical and your mental health.
Yeah,
great advice,
absolutely.
Sean. Thank
you very much, Sean. And of course, don't be afraid to look for help as well. That's the other big
exactly.
thing.
Now, earlier on, Alan surprised Catherine Layden on her doorstep to see how she's getting on. Well, Alan, how is it? Is it lovely to see Catherine in real life?
It's lovely to see her here in her own surroundings at her own home.
Yeah.
She's got over the shock of surprising. We surprised her at 9 o'clock this morning and she wasn't expecting it. Catherine, we had to come and say hello to you in your own surroundings because after last week, you struck the heart of the nation when you you broke down and you were saying you weren't coping.
No, I'm finding it very hard. This time particularly, Alan. I managed the last time, but this is particularly bad. And I can't, even though they say the vaccine is coming and everything, but I still can't really see light at the end of the tunnel because there's so many, the hospitals are under pressure and all that sort of stuff panics me a small bit.
But so many people, so many of our viewers got in touch with us and they said, Catherine's saying exactly how we're feeling. And I know I was talking to you during the week and you were saying you were overwhelmed by the reaction you got.
Absolutely. I cannot believe it, Alan. I really couldn't believe it. Still getting messages all the time, and it's just, I want to thank everybody for being so kind and so thoughtful, because I know there are people out there that are far worse off than I am. Yeah. That I'm lucky,
But you were saying that last week, and you're saying you're not the type of one who feels sorry for yourself.
Never.
And that's why you couldn't get past this thing that you're feeling sorry for yourself. And I think one of the things that struck a lot of people was when you said, can't even get out of bed some days because I'm feeling so low.
You're lucky I'm up this morning.
I was going to say that. When I was ringing at it, I was going, oh God, you're
hope she's not in bed, yeah. Which could happen, I can tell you. No, but the viewers gave me a lift, I must say. That after the response I got was absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I couldn't believe it. You don't think that many people care, really,
Of course, I'm sure everybody who watches Ireland AM loves you, Catherine.
Thank you,
and
Alan.
you were saying about motivation, and that was the thing. It was just like how to get out of bed, what to do every day, and just to get that motivation going.
Shocking. And you see, I'm not a great walker at the best of times. And now that I'm carrying weight, it's even harder to walk. The old knees are giving me jib, and Gucci's got old and she's not able to see too well, and the whole thing was overwhelming.
I tell you, that's why we're here this morning as well, because we have a little surprise for you because of the motivation. And our good friends at Max Sports, right? Now, stand back a second. We have something here.
Sweetheart of Jesus.
So we've our two lads here from Max Sports. You can just leave it there, guys. And I'm going to explain to Catherine.
How are you?
Exactly. Thank you, guys. Thank you very
so much. Jesus.
So, Catherine, we were talking about this and we were going, how can we motivate you? How can we get you going and get you exercising? This is especially for, and you won't mind me saying it, people of a certain age.
Yeah.
It's an exercise bike, right? And what we're going to do is not that, the guys from Max Sports have given us that, but also Aaron Smith, who's a fitness advisor. So every week we're going to do classes with you.
You're going to catch me?
Yes, they're going to do classes with you. The nation can join in and keep you motivated, try and get you a bit fitter, and we're going to do that. So next week, I'm going to be on one of these in studio. You're going to be, you're going to be in the house here. We're going to be this, and we're going to start the classes with Aaron to keep you fit, and we're going to try and get the whole nation to join in.
Brilliant!
Keep
Thank
fit
you
with
so
Catherine.
much. Oh my God! Oh my God!
How do you think? What do you think about that?
I can't believe it. And I love the back on the chair.
See, that's the thing. It's really comfortable.
Yeah.
And it's really easy to do. So it's not like a real high bike thing. It's very, we thought about this, we went through this, and we asked a few people, and they said, no, this would be perfect for you. So
well, you won't recognise me in 3 or 4 months' time.
I'm telling you, you won't recognise you at all. So listen, are you up for this?
I am on for it, yeah. And I'm going to put the camera, I'm going to be on camera with this.
Well, you can do the way you would zoom in.
Yeah.
The way you would zoom in for your cooking classes.
Brilliant.
So you'll be on your bike doing your exercise. I'll be in studio next week to kick it off. And Aaron then will talk to you. He'll zoom you and he'll give you a whole exercise plan.
And he'll tell me what to do.
He'll give you a whole exercise plan and tell you what to do.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Jeez, I can't believe this. Whoa. And can that replace walking now? It can.
Well, you could do a bit of walking as well, actually. What do you want to do?
No.
The more exercise,
That
the
appeals
better.
to me, I have to say. Oh, that's powerful.
But tell me, just go back to after last week and the reaction that we got. And do you know what? We have the Taoiseach in on Thursday.
Have you really?
Yeah, what would you like to ask him?
It's very hard to say, Alan, because he doesn't know more than anybody else how bad this is going to get, if it's going to get any worse or whatever. That because you can't really give notice.
Yeah.
The medics did expect the numbers to get as high as they are at the moment, but the rest of us didn't.
No.
And I keep hoping, now the numbers have been a bit down last night, but far more diagnosed.
Yeah.
But hopefully if we had some idea. I mean, even if he told us,
when
listen,
you might get your vaccination.
Vaccine, yeah.
That's what you want to know. If you had a date in sight that
I'd
you
love
would
it.
know that my getting my vaccination, the
because-
middle of February or the start
Correct.
of March, that would keep
at
you
least to
going.
keep you going, that
Yeah.
you know you're going to get it. Like someone was on to me the other night and said, would you get up at 4 o'clock